Welcome to Mojoyminds.
If you travel through the Netherlands by train, you'll notice a pattern: charming gables, ancient church spires, and cobblestone streets. But then, you reach Rotterdam, and the world suddenly changes. You step out of a station that looks like a shimmering titanium spaceship and enter a forest of steel, glass, and concrete. There are houses shaped like tilted cubes, a market hall that looks like a giant inverted horseshoe covered in digital art, and bridges that look like harps reaching across the water. Rotterdam is the black sheep of the Dutch family, not because it wanted to be, but because it had no other choice. This is a city defined by a single, devastating afternoon and a century of Nyet lullen maar poëtsen, a local phrase that means, "Don't talk, just get it done." The day the heart stopped. To understand Rotterdam, you have to understand May 14, 1940. Before that day, Rotterdam looked much like Amsterdam or Zaandam. It was a medieval maze of narrow alleys and 17th century brick warehouses. But during the Nazi invasion, the city was issued an ultimatum. Before the negotiations could even finish, nearly 100 German bombers appeared. In just 15 minutes, the entire historic heart of Rotterdam was erased. A massive firestorm followed, melting the very bells in the church towers. When the smoke cleared, 80,000 people were homeless, and the city center was a flat, smoking wasteland. Only a handful of buildings survived, including the Laurenskirk Church and Het Withuis, which, at the time, was Europe's first skyscraper. It's in these moments of total destruction that human creativity is truly tested. How do you find the joy to rebuild when everything is gone? That's exactly what we explore here. If you're enjoying this deep dive into how history and design shape our world, make sure to subscribe to Mojoyminds channel. We're all about sparking that creative curiosity and finding the joy in the mind. Hit that notification bell and join the Mojoyminds community as we continue to uncover the stories behind the world's most fascinating places. Now, let's see how Rotterdam turned a tragedy into a blueprint for the future. The blank canvas. Most cities would have tried to rebuild exactly what was lost, brick by brick. But the people of Rotterdam did something radical. Within just 4 days of the bombing, while the ruins were still hot, they began drafting a basic plan. They decided not to look backward, but to use the tragedy as a blank canvas. They abandoned the old, cramped street patterns and opted for light, air, and space. They built the Lijnbaan, the first car-free shopping street in Europe, which became a model for cities worldwide. Rotterdam became a laboratory for architects. Because there were no old rules to follow, the city became a playground for high-tech modernism. The port and the power. While the city center was reinventing its look, its harbor was reinventing the world economy. Rotterdam sits at the mouth of the Rhine and Meuse rivers, the gateway to the heart of Europe. As the city rose from the ashes, its port pushed further and further into the North Sea. Today, it is the largest port in Europe, a massive, automated landscape of robotic cranes and thousands of shipping containers. This hustle mentality is baked into the city's DNA. It's why you'll see the cube houses by Piet Blom, houses tilted at 45-degree angles on hexagonal pillars, standing right next to a harbor. It's a city that values the new over the old and the bold over the safe. He Phoenix of the North. When you stand on the Erasmus Bridge today, the swan that connects the north and south of the city, you aren't looking at a historical museum. You are looking at a living, breathing experiment. Rotterdam is proof that a city is not its buildings, but its spirit. It took the most painful chapter in its history and used it to build a skyline that looks like the 22nd century. While Amsterdam is the beautiful grandmother of the Netherlands, Rotterdam is the ambitious, edgy cousin who is already living in the future. It's a city that reminds us that even when the heart is broken, you can always build something even stronger in its place.
Garantangi. Till the next video.